After David inquired of the Lord, and he asked the Lord, should he go up and pursue? And the Lord told him to pursue because he would recover all. David went, he and his 600 men who were with him, and they came to the brook Besor. Now, Besor means cheerful, right? And these people were just weeping so much that they could not cry anymore. They were so exhausted from crying, they literally could not cry anymore. And now they are at a brook that means cheerful. So they came to the brook Besor, and there those who could not continue remained behind. But David pursued the Amalekites, he and 400 men. For 200 were too exhausted to cross the brook Besor, and they stayed behind. Right? The brook Besor, it speaks of refreshment from God, refreshment that God provides for every servant on the journey from loss to triumph. So sometimes we have to park it right next to the brook Besor and allow that cheerful brook to nourish our spirit, because it's been dried, it's been broken, it's been exhausted from weeping. Isaiah 42:3 says, a broken reed he will not break off, and a dimly burning wick he will not extinguish. He will not harm those who are weak. He will faithfully bring forth justice. We know in Psalm 23, David said, he leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. We have to allow the Holy Spirit to lead us beside those still waters. We have to allow the Holy Spirit to lead us to the brook Besor, that cheerful brook. Why the water, right? Well, we see that with the woman at the well. When the woman at the well encountered Jesus, he says, I could give you water where you're not even going to be thirsty anymore. He wanted to give her living water, because when we draw from the well of salvation, it brings joy and refreshment. When we draw from the well of salvation, it's a source of renewal. So when he leads us by still waters, when we stop at the brook of Besor, it's the living waters that restores and refreshes and replenishes our spirit man. So if you're too exhausted to cross over, if you feel like you have to stay behind, if you feel like your bones have dried out, if you feel like the weight of what you're carrying spiritually is draining you naturally, it's time to come into Jesus, to unburden and unload yourself and allow him to lead you beside still waters, to allow him to pour into you, to allow the rivers of living water to bring you renewal, to bring you joy, and to bring you refreshment. We have to rest in him. That is the only way that our spirit man will ever get revived, will ever feel replenished, will ever feel renewed. So if you're going to stay behind and you feel like you can't cross over, you have to stay behind with him. Stay with the Holy Spirit.